Welcome to the live stream. How's everybody doing? My name is Rob. If you're new here, welcome. We do this every week. This is Tuesday's live stream, live on Tuesday at the same time every week. But today's is a little bit special because several weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, I guess, we decided to start a challenge and it wraps up today. So, I've got a couple things organized for today just to make it a little bit extra special. And hopefully most of you who did the challenge are here. But for those who did not do the challenge, that's okay. We're still doing the regular live as well. So if anybody has any questions at any time that you'd like answered, feel free to ask in the chat. It would help if you put QQQ in front because there will be times that I'll search for QQQ and it'll only show me messages with that in it. So I'll be able to answer those. So yeah, let me just jump right into the chat and see who is here. It looks like we've got a lot of people. We've got 80 people in here already. That is awesome. And I see a lot of people are congratulating each other for starting or for doing this challenge, and that's awesome. Let's see, we got David's girl here. Hello, how you doing, David? Brenda's here. Content hiking, Anaholics. Brenda, I already said Brenda, Sue, lots of people in here. I'm not going to go through everybody, but yeah, so why don't we start? Let me just kind of rewind. I've got a couple things written here just so I don't, I'm not going to read, but here, let me just, okay, so I started this several weeks ago, the Put Yourself Out There challenge, trying to decide what kind of challenge to do. What are you doing? Here, you want to get down? There you go. She decided to wake up just right now. Trying to figure out what's the best way to get people, you guys can hear me, right? You guys can hear me? You'll let me know if you can't hear me. I forgot to ask. I'm supposed to ask that right off the bat. Want to make sure you guys can hear me. But I'm sure you would have said if I was silent. So yeah, wanted to try to come up with something that would help people get started because that's the thing I get the most. People who contact me either by email or in a coaching session or comments on my videos. However, the common theme tends to be, yeah, I'd really like to do this. I just, something's holding me back. And more often than not, that something is, when you really think about it, it's not something that should hold you back. And so I feel like what a lot of people need is just a little bit of a push, just a little tiny push, maybe some encouragement, maybe some inspirational stories would help if you throw them in there every once in a while. And I try to be that way in my videos because I know what it's like, right? I've been where you've been. And I say been now because many of you have gone through this now, but I've been at the beginning when I didn't know what to do or how to do it. I knew I wanted to do it. I wanted to make YouTube videos. And everybody has different reasons for wanting to do this, right? Some people want to make money. I'll throw that out there right off the bat. A lot of people will hear, oh, wow, you can make money by making videos. People will watch them and you'll make money. There's a lot more that goes into it than that, as many of you probably know by now. But some of you may not, so take that for granted. Some people want to make money. Some people just want to put themselves out there, put themselves in videos. They love the idea of making videos, capturing themselves for others. Others maybe in your family, right? Maybe your kids. Maybe you want to, lay down some video for your kids to watch. They can watch later, or whatever it is. You probably, if you're watching my videos, my guess, on average, you're probably in your 50s or 60s, 70s or 80s or 90s, maybe 40s, maybe 30s, but for the most part, you're my age, 50s, somewhere around there. And maybe you're thinking about retirement. Maybe you're thinking about just what else are you going to do, right? Like maybe there's something else that you can do. Maybe you've had enough of your job you've been doing forever and maybe you don't like it. You just want to do something else, right? Second half of your life. What else should we do? And a lot of people turn to YouTube because it's the new thing. Well, not that new now. I guess it's, what is it, around 20 years old? 19, 20 years. I see everybody. Yeah, let me know how old you are. Put it in the chat. And I've got more to say on the chat in a little bit. I'm working on something, which I'm kind of excited about. But anyways, yeah, let me know how old you are if you want. You can be vague if you want. So anyways, I don't know. I'm just kind of spinning my wheels here. Bottom line is, I feel like a lot of people just needed a little bit of a push, and that's why I created this. It didn't take me all that much effort to put this together. I do these live streams anyways. I did add a couple of extra live streams, as some of you know, on a couple of Fridays. And I put together the emails, 2 emails a week. But I might have had AI help me with some of those, right? So, but the thing is, and I've got Creators Cove already set up, right? That's the community. But the thing is, if there's some structure around this, if you can be given some instructions and say, look, all you got to do is this, this, and this, and just kind of lay it out. And right, everything that I put in these emails, nothing was new, right? It was all just, let's do this together, right? And if we can get enough people together that can encourage one another, then things just get a little bit easier. And then maybe some of your fears will start to fall away. And that's what I've noticed. And I'm going to read some comments that some of you have left. Because yeah, fear of being seen, right? A lot of YouTubers are introverts, okay? And what's an introvert? An introvert is somebody who just likes kind of being by themselves or works better alone, maybe, right? And, maybe that's not exactly accurate. I don't know. You can look up the definition. But YouTube is a singular job or occupation or hobby. It's something you do by yourself. So a lot of times it's hard to know what to do next. And if you can be part of a community, then things just become a whole lot easier, right? You can see other people will explain what they're having trouble with, and then that might relate to you. So if you can read some of those things, and I think that's what's happened, is it has resulted in a lot of you being able to achieve this. So, all right, so what was this? Let me see now. 63, 48, 73, 48, 65, 71, 58. You guys see all the numbers. 38, there's the young one so far. 56, 73, 8, 53. 95, there's the old one so far. Elder. Awesome. All right, so here's what I want to show you. If I share my screen here. So this is Creators Cove, as many of you probably know by now. Let me just kind of stretch this out. So for those who don't know, Creators Cove is just a free community that I've created. If you're not a member of it, you can join. There should be a link down below this live stream. You can click that, sign up, join, and participate, right? It's not really a place to advertise what you do, but it's more about being supportive for one another. If you have some questions, you can ask them. Other people will answer. I will often answer myself. I'm not in there as much as I would like to be, although I've tried to be in there a lot over these last 4 weeks. And it's just a great place to kind of meet up with other people who are trying to do the same thing you are. So with this challenge, we got 475 people enter to do the challenge. So 475, I was shocked. I was thinking maybe 100, maybe 150 or so, but I didn't know. I had no idea. So 475. Now, some of those joined later. I mean, I think I've got my latest person joining earlier this week, or maybe towards the end of last week. So I thought I shut off the the join link, but perhaps not. But that's okay. And not everybody finished. And what you're looking at here is, this is the post that I put out. What is that? Is this the right one? 4 days ago, yeah. So I asked everybody, and if you didn't get the email, but I asked everybody in the email a couple days ago to basically reply to this thread, and so that I can kind of show them off. And this is what we got. We got 69 comments or replies. Now, some people also replied outside of this thread, and that's totally fine. This is going to be something you can refer back to at any time, right? It's not going to go away. So it's always going to be here. And if you're ever looking for some motivation, go through this thread, because everybody who posted in here are people who were afraid to do the thing and then decided to do the thing, right? And posted videos. And I asked everybody to post their channel and the videos, links to the videos, and this is what we got. Okay, so we got all kinds, and I've pulled out some quotes from everybody here. Very inspiring, very inspiring. As I scroll through these, I remind myself that everybody in here, pretty much everybody in here, wanted to be a creator but wasn't yet before this. So we've got basically 70 plus new creators because of this, and I'm super stoked about that. I just think this is awesome. So give yourselves a pat on the back. This is awesome. You've all got channels now, and I plan to visit each one. As you probably know, I have not been able to watch everybody's video. The odd time I would click here and there, but I plan to visit everybody's, and I'll chime in the comment section of your video. Yeah, so very, very encouraging. Look at all this. This is awesome. And that was right in here. So 69 comments there. Let me just refresh this page. Maybe there's even more now. Nope, still 69. But then there were some others here as well. So yeah, hugely motivating. So congrats to everybody. I'm going to get to the quotes shortly, but let me just take a look at, just one sec. Give me 1 second to kind of reorient my brain. Yes, okay, I almost forgot. So I already did this one word thing with the age, which you guys did, and that was kind of cool. But now what I want you to do, just because I want to capture this, and this will live. So what happens with the live chat for those who have not live streamed before? What happens is you'll be able to see the live chats, right? Beside this video right now. You're looking at them and you're typing and whatnot. When this live stream is over, you will no longer, the live chat will go away for a period of time, and then you'll be able to put comments below the live stream, because then the live stream turns into a video, right? And you can put in comments just like a regular video. But the live chat will return. It usually takes, what I've noticed, is 10 to 12 hours before it returns. Maybe sometimes it's shorter, and it might even depend on how long the live stream is. I'm not 100% sure. But by the next day, it'll be back, right? So then anybody who watches this on the replay will be able to watch back, and they'll see all the live chat just as if they were watching live. Okay, but it takes about 12 hours for that to happen. So anyways, what I wanted to ask you guys to do is, and I wrote it down here, I'm just going to read it exactly the way I wrote it down. Where'd it go? Yes, one word. Tell me how you feel right now. If you've just done this challenge, give me one word that describes how you feel about it. Maybe you didn't finish the challenge. That's okay. And I wanted to stress that too. If you only got, say, 2, so the challenge was 3 videos in 4 weeks. If you only got 2 videos done, if you only got 1 video done, right? That's still okay. You still should celebrate that and be proud of yourself, because you're a creator now. And I want you to participate too. Give me one word that describes how you feel about this whole thing now versus 5 weeks ago when we started this. And I'm just going to, can I show that? No, I can. You guys can see it though. So good. Kelly Tag says good. Doubt. Okay, that's a good one. Hopeful, stoked, behind. Yeah, try not to feel behind. I mean, I understand that feeling. I mean, in some respect, you're kind of always going to feel behind. I mean, even myself, like sometimes, like, what could I be doing better? Like we're always asking ourselves that question. What could I be doing different to make things grow faster? And right. So it's hard to know, because it's a very experimental process making videos and being a creator. So I understand that word, behind. Free. Very good, Lisa. Free. Energized. Stacy says motivated, energized. Consistency. Oh, this just jumped. Let me go back here. Let's see, consistent, optimistic, empowered, accomplished, inspired, brave. That's a good one. Liberated, happy, motivated, enjoying. That's awesome. That is so important to be enjoying this. I get a lot of comments from people who, just by the very nature of the comment, I can tell they don't like doing this. And I ask myself, like, well, then why are you doing it? Why are you making videos if you really don't like it? They're just so dejected that they're not getting the numbers they feel like, and they think it's a waste of time. Why am I even doing this if I'm not getting the numbers as fast as I want to get them? And, I get that, but it also kind of tells me that maybe they're not doing it for the right reasons. I understand wanting to build something from it, but it really needs to start from a place of liking or enjoying doing this, right? It's got to start there. Fearless, triumphant, awesome, like it, Paul. Energized, motivated, happy, motivated, excited, together. That's a great one. That's a great one, Sheet Keeper. I like that. Great. Proud, awesome, David. Proud, encouraged, a couple of prouds there. Excited, awesome, love it. Love it. I'm working on something that's going to make this a little bit easier for me to track all of these live chats. I can talk about that another time because that's nowhere near ready. But inspirational, fulfilled, monkey wrench. I like that. Supported, invigorated. That's a good word. How many words do you know? I don't know. It's a lot. But I have a question. Let me just ask this right now and I'll answer it. But I have a question. Why do sometimes I don't feel motivated though post video? So what do you recommend me doing to get me motivated to post more videos? Okay, there's a couple things you can do. You can go to Creators Cove and read through all these people who just completed this challenge and talking about how they feel now versus how they felt when they started, right? That should be motivational, right? Maybe take a break, okay? Sometimes a break is needed, and that's totally fine. Like if you're just not feeling it and you feel like, you need a little bit of help, taking a break is totally fine. In fact, it's necessary, right? To maybe reset, your mind or recharge or whatnot. But yeah, just understanding that there's other people trying to do what you want to do. I find that motivating myself. So if you can you can try Creators Cove and go through there. There are other communities you could try. Other YouTube videos you could watch that might help with that. Sometimes if I'm not feeling up to it, I will just kind of scan through YouTube videos and see what other people are up to, right? And sometimes I might get a spark or something like that. So, but anyways, I hope that helps. Let me see. Before I go on, let me just pop a couple of questions up on the live chat. Again, feel free to ask me any questions whenever you want. Because not everybody here did the challenge, right? I mean, everybody who did the challenge, or most people, are probably here, but I'm going to answer some questions as well. So Connie, first one. Didn't finish the challenge, but haven't quit. That's important. You adding that last part is very important. You haven't quit. Awesome. Question, is it okay if I let you know when I finished? 100% you can. Absolutely. And you can do that here in the live chat. I live stream every week, so you can come back in a future week. You could do it in Creators Cove as well. So 100%, let us know. Scott, how you doing, Scott? Rob, am I wrong to keep the ball rolling? These embarrass myself on purpose challenge videos were 4 to 5 times outliers compared to my usual stuff. Not a pivot, it's just doubling down on what's working. 100%. Yes. Keep the ball rolling, Scott. Absolutely. And I watched that video of you dancing. That was awesome. Just out embarrassing yourself. That was cool. I think I talked about that last week in this live. But yeah, no, absolutely. So again, just to kind of rewind on this challenge, my primary purpose was to get new people posting and get them started on their channels, and to a point where, now it's up to you. Just keep going. Right? This was just the start. Like, by no means do I mean for anybody to now stop. It's over and now you have to wait several months or whatever until the next challenge comes around. No. Now it's up to you to keep going and check in Creators Cove every once in a while, or on these live streams, or even in comments in my videos. Keep me informed as to how you're doing. Absolutely. So, but also, this challenge was not just for brand new people. It was for people who had been posting videos And Scott, you're one of them that decided, because you've been posting videos for a while now, you decided to take this challenge to a different level. Not just post your first 3 videos, but you decided to embarrass yourself 3 times. And now you're wondering if you should keep the ball rolling. 100%. I would. If I were you, I would. The only way I wouldn't is if you didn't enjoy it. And you might feel like it might hold you back. Like if you ever start to feel like, oh, geez, I got to make another one. I got to go embarrass myself again. If you start thinking that way, then yeah, maybe take a break from those types of videos. It can be a recurring thing too, right? Like maybe you did these 3 or 4. I can't remember if you did 3 or 4. You could take a break from them and go back to doing what you were doing, and then maybe, return of the embarrassing myself videos, right? It could be a recurring theme every couple of weeks if you want, right? Just another idea. It's whatever you think. But absolutely, I encourage you to keep it going. The Aging Runner, hello and congrats to all finishers. Laptop failure on July 19th and couldn't work it out with my phone or iPad. Question, will 3 combined videos count as 3? We'll post later this week, new and used laptop. Will 3 videos count as 3? 3 videos would be 3, 100%. Yeah, I don't know what you're asking really, but yeah, you know what? Stuff happens. Stuff happens. Your iPad, your phone crapped out, that happens. So yeah, I wouldn't, if you feel anybody who was not able to finish this challenge who wanted to, or if you're brand new to this channel or you've just hearing about this challenge for the first time, like I encourage you, like if you think this is something that would help you, and yet I'm not running another one starting next week, I encourage you to go to Creators Cove or go watch these live streams, the last 5 that I did. That would take a long time because they're average 2 hours each, but maybe a quicker thing is to go to Creators Cove and just kind of go through it and do it on your own and get your inspiration from the other people who are doing this for the first time, right? 100%. So this is something that's not going to go away, right? You guys are kind of immortalized now in Creators Cove and will likely be inspiring people for a long time because of what you've done this month. So again, pat yourself on the back. What plans do you have for Creators Cove? My fear was that after the challenge, it would be allowed to peter out. You know what? Yeah, that would be unfortunate. I'm open to suggestions, right? It's, Creators Cove, I created that about 2 years ago, a little less than 2 years ago, I think. And yes, it had kind of stagnated and not a lot was going on in there. And this has kind of revitalized it. And now naturally it might wane a little bit after this, but it's my hope that it won't too much. It's my hope that we now have some energized people who will keep the story going, start new threads and whatnot. But in terms of what my plans are, I'm not sure. I'm open to suggestions and I will keep my eye on it and I will try to, pop in there as much as I can. I've got a lot of things going on up here, things I want to do and ideas I've got swimming around in my head. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna shut it down or anything. So, yeah, probably run another challenge in the future. Not gonna put a date on it or anything like that at this point. It might even be different the next time I do it, right? So again, always looking for suggestions. Everything I do on this channel, through whether it's my channel, whether it's the courses I offer or the coaching that I offer, the challenges that we do, the live streams, everything I do, it's not me in a box coming up with these ideas. Maybe it started that way, but now I want to take my cues from you guys. I want you guys to tell me what you want this to be, whether it's the next video idea or live stream idea or a different way to run the live streams or whatever it is, a different way to run Creators Cove. It's whatever people like. I take my cues from you guys. So if I'm not getting ideas, I'll come up with my own. But I'm always looking for ideas from you guys. So yeah, I don't know if that answered your question or not. Question, I've posted 3 videos over the last 2 weeks on my new channel, and the first 2 got about 100 views, but the third suddenly only 20. And my wife got the same problem on her channel. Looking for the question. Okay, I don't think there's a... So I assume the question is why? Why did the views drop? There's really no way to know. You can take educated guesses. There's certainly no way for me to know without knowing your channel, and I don't do channel reviews in these live streams. There's a fly flying around here. But one thing I'll tell you is, so 3 videos over the last 2 weeks. So I don't know if those were your first 3 videos or not. If they were your first 3 videos, stop looking at your stats, right? It's too early, way too early to be looking at your stats. 100, 120, there's nothing abnormal about that. Right? It's up and down. It's up and down. And it might be up and down. You know, maybe that 20 view video might have been a topic that nobody was interested in, or far fewer people were interested in that than the first 2 videos topics. It could have been that. It could have been, it took you too long to get to the point of your video in the third one when compared to the first 2. Could have been that. It could have been your thumbnail. It could have been the title. There's really no way to know. But, so I think far too much we get wrapped up in the stats and the analytics, and it's probably, the reason is it's probably my fault or people like me who make videos trying to help people with YouTube, trying to tell people like what you have to do to grow your channel, stuff like that. And if you ever see videos where, you know, to grow your views, right, this is what you have to do. Any video like that, you can't follow it to the T. There is no instruction manual. There's no step-by-step guide that you're going to find that'll tell you exactly what to do to grow your channel. There's only vague ideas and suggestions and did you try this or maybe try that, or at no time would I ever say, do this, then that will happen. It's more like, why don't you try this? Have you tried that? Have you tried that? Right? That's really the only way to do this, because there's nobody at YouTube, and the algorithm is not just going to magically take cues. Oh, he did this. Oh, and he did that, right? Wow, okay, he scored a perfect 100 out of 100. So, yeah, we're going to give them 1 million impressions. There's nothing like that. It's all driven by the viewers and what they decide to click on and what they decide to watch and what they decide to continue to watch. And so then it becomes a psychological question. You as the creator have to try to get into the heads of your viewers or the viewers you're trying to reach, and try to understand, you know, what is it that they want. And short of you asking every single person who watches your video what it is that they want or what would have allowed them to, or make them watch for longer, you know, that information just isn't out there, right? So yeah, I didn't really answer your question, but that's kind of a blanket answer to anybody who asks me, I had 1,000 views and now I'm only getting 50 views. Why? There's really no way to answer that, but you know, I hope that helps. You just have to try things. You have to try and experiment with things. Content hiking. Will we be allowed to continue interacting with the community now that the challenge is complete? Yes, 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 100% yes. Yeah. Everybody who did the challenge, there's no special tag or anything that was assigned to you as being part of the challenge. You are a member of Creators Cove, just like anybody else who signs up to Creators Cove. What I did, though, is I created a new room called the Put Yourself Out There Challenge room. And that's where I put all the, you know, the copies of the emails and my posts in there, and your posts were all in there, right? But you can continue to post in there, or you can go to any of the other, like general discussion or Q&A or share your wins, or any of the rooms in there. You can go anytime. Let's see. Terry, hello Rob, everyone. Just wondering if your revenue for July went down. I started noticing it in June, but July was worse. This is my first time getting paid for the summer. So I didn't. I think July was the same as June, like almost like within $10. But yeah, it's certainly not going to be something that is down across the board. I have heard, because it's going to depend on your niche, right? If the people who watch your videos tend to not watch YouTube as much in the summer, then you might notice a downtick. Okay, that's basically the only way I can put it, right? Some niches may have people watching videos more in the summer, right? And when I say summer, I mean Northern Hemisphere. I'm looking at you, Catherine and Karen, because I saw somebody say it's snowing in, was that New Zealand? Wow, it's 90 degrees here. 30, it's like 32 Celsius, which is around 90 Fahrenheit here in Nova Scotia right now. So we are far away from snow. But anyway, yeah, it's all dependent on your niche. So that could very well be, and you may have to go through a couple of seasons before you recognize that things may take a downturn for you in your niche in the summer. Maybe that might be the case, but it might not be. It could be the opposite. All right, let me see now. How can I improve my thumbnails? My CTR is very low, 2 to 3%, and for ones that I do have, and for the ones that do have over 5%, I don't really see why. I really can't give specific advice. If you don't see, thumbnails need to work alongside your titles, right? Your title and your thumbnail together need to work together to try to get the click. So don't think of your thumbnails in isolation without also thinking about your title, okay? There are some rules of thumb that you can apply, like don't put too much text on a thumbnail. Don't put small text on a thumbnail at all, only big words. And if you can, keep your words to 1, 2, or 3 if you can, 4 or 5 if you have to, but just few words on your thumbnail so that it's not so busy. Again, you almost have to get into the heads of your, well, if we're talking about thumbnails, you have to get into the heads of your potential viewers because they're not a viewer yet. They haven't clicked yet. You want them to click, right? So try to get into the heads of your potential viewers. What are they doing? They're scrolling, all right? Are they scrolling on their phone or on a computer? You can check your analytics to see where your viewers are coming from and then try to picture them scrolling, okay? What's gonna make them stop? Like what other videos are around your thumbnails when your thumbnails show up for them, right? So that might mean do a sample search for keywords where you want your videos to show up or other channels in your niche. What do their thumbnails look like? And I'm not trying to tell you to make your thumbnails look like your competitors' thumbnails. Kind of the opposite. I'm trying to say you need to make yours stand out. All right. So if it's on a computer where your viewers are scrolling or watching YouTube, they're going to be presented with, depending on how large the screen is, 6, 9 thumbnails at one time. And you want yours to stand out. So if it looks the same as all the other ones, it's not standing out. So how do you make it stand out? Less busy stands out more, I find, right? If your face is big on the screen and maybe 1 or 2 words at the top or the side or whatever, your face on one side, words on the other, very simple, with a real background. Like in my mind, this is the way I think. That's nice and simple. If you have like a whole bunch of images and a very busy background, it's not as simple, and it might get lost. So I don't know. I'm speaking in general terms here, but trying to get you to, your mind to start thinking about how you can, look at it for your situation, right? Try to think about what you can change about your thumbnails to make them stand out in a sea of thumbnails, right? Excuse me. One thing you can do is when you're making your thumbnail, I don't know if you use like I use Canva, and that has a little slider where you can shrink it way down to make it small. That's a trick that I like to use when looking at thumbnails when I'm making a thumbnail, make it really small, and then kind of sit back and look at it and, can you still read it, right? Because a lot of people are watching or looking at thumbnails on their phones, and, just as a test that you can do to see if it'll help stand out more. Anyway, I hope that helps. What do you think is a sweet spot on video length? And sorry, before I answer this, I'm going to get back to the quotes. I've got some quotes I want to go through that I picked out of your comments from Creators Cove, and kind of built a little bit of a story around these quotes. So I'm going to get to that, let's say, top of the hour. All right. So Carrie Lynn, what do you think is the sweet spot on video length? Again, and you guys are going to hate me because I say this a lot. It depends. And actually, it doesn't necessarily depend. It depends on when you're done talking about what you wanted to talk about. It should only be as long as it has to be to get your point across. Right? Especially if you're making a helpful type video, you're trying to teach somebody something, then just kind of get to the point, teach it, and be done with it. And then that's how long your video is. That's it. If you're more having a conversation, then maybe you're given some latitude to be a little bit longer with your videos, right? Especially as your channel grows with people who like the way you speak. And if maybe they just want to listen to you a little bit longer, right? Then maybe you can get away with slightly longer videos. But the bottom line is you're going to have to find that out for yourself by testing different lengths. When I started making videos, mine were how-to videos. They were tutorial type videos. And I always kept them to under 15 minutes, usually 5 to 10 minutes, somewhere in there. But they were how-to videos, and I consciously wanted them to be quick because I knew I was competing against other channels that were making those videos, but making them longer. And I myself was frustrated. That's how I taught myself how to edit videos, by watching YouTube videos. I never took a course, right? I just watched YouTube videos, and I taught myself. And I'll tell you, when I'm trying to edit a video and I'm getting frustrated because of how long it's taking, and if I want to learn how to do something and I go to YouTube and I watch a video, if I get the impression that that person is wasting my time, it's like, okay, I'm already a little frustrated and I just want an answer. So I tend to gravitate towards videos that get to the point real fast, especially if it's a how-to video. Okay, so because that's the way I felt when I was watching those types of videos, I wanted to make sure that I was consciously making my videos as quickly as possible. Get to the point, this is how you do the thing, I'll see you next time, right? And that helped in my case. I'm not saying that's going to work for everybody, but for how-to videos, that helped for me. So here we go again. It wouldn't be a Tuesday without me losing my train of thought. Drink time. So it wasn't until later where I started talking to the camera that my videos started to become longer. And I still experiment with that. My first one talking to the camera, I think it was 25 minutes, and it did really well. So then I'm thinking, wow, okay, that's the best video that the best results I've ever had. Was it because I didn't use a teleprompter? Maybe. Was it because my cat was in the video? Probably. Was it because, I don't know, I made mistakes? Was it because it was 25 minutes long, right? That was one of the possibilities. So, I made some longer videos, even longer than that, and some shorter. And it's just a constant thing that you're always testing. And you're never going to get the right answer, because if I make another 25-minute video and it bombs, well, okay, it wasn't then, that probably tells me that it wasn't the length of the last video that made it do so well. It must have been something else, right? Or if I make a 10-minute video and it does even better, oh, was that because it's shorter? I'll try a 7-minute video. And at no time do I say, okay, I'm going to make a video today. This one's going to be 7 minutes, and then go outside and do it. It doesn't work that way. The video ends up being whatever it ends up being. I never aim for a time. It just ends up where it ends up. But get the information across as efficiently as you can, unless you start getting signals that people just like listening to you, then maybe you can talk a little longer. And just don't waste people's time. And people will tell you in the comments if you're dragging things on too long. I've been told, it's like, Rob, get to the point. Not a lot, but I do get that sometimes. So, again, my content's not for everybody. Nobody's content is for everybody. But you get signals from your content, from your comments, and just try things. All righty. All right. Where are we at now? Question. I've had a look at some videos from people on here. As I'm not the target audience for them, would I hurt their algorithm? No. I mean, no, like when you're talking about, like if somebody gets 10 views and one of them is you and you're not interested in watching anything else, no, it's not going to hurt anything. Like, actually, I'll go a little further and I'll just say you can't think that way, right? It's just, I watch some videos that I know I'm not interested in the thing, but maybe the thumbnail grabbed me and I was like, what is this all about? And I'll start and it's like, okay, whatever, right? It's like YouTube takes all that into account. There's always going to be some percentage of people who click who aren't going to watch for very long and who may never come back, right? That's just that's the nature of the way this whole thing works. So, but what I will say is you don't want to advertise your channel and try to get a bunch of people to watch your videos who would otherwise not. Okay, so I guess the revert, like you watching one other person's video, you watching 100 other people's video, like one video each. All that's going to do is take you a lot of time to do that. You're not going to really affect anybody else's channel that you watch their video one time at all. It's not going to matter. But if you tell 100 people to all come watch your video and you normally get 10 views and now you got 110 views, that's not good because you'll probably get some subscribers from that. The algorithm might start to think, oh, okay, getting some traction here. Some subscribed, some watched a lot of it, whatever. And then the next time you put out another video that you're not going to announce to everybody, YouTube is just going to silently go on and do its thing and try to see, like, okay, how's this one doing with everybody? We got a lot of people last time. How's this one doing? Oh, it's not doing so well compared to the last one. This must not be a very good video. That's it for our testing. Now we're just going to wait for the next video, right? That's what happens. So you'll by trying to, I guess, trick the algorithm. I'm not saying you were going to do this, but I'm just, for anybody thinking of this, because a lot of people do think about this. Anybody thinking about ways to trick the algorithm, ways to get more views, nothing like that works. The only thing that works is organic. People finding your videos based on YouTube doing its thing, and sometimes it seems slow. Most times it seems slow. It's like, come on, YouTube, would you hurry up and learn already? I'm doing my best here. All you can do is just keep making videos. Don't announce that you've made them. Just silently put them up on YouTube. And if a couple people watch your video because you posted it in Creators Cove, that's totally fine. I wouldn't worry about that. But don't go announcing it to your 500 friend Facebook account. That's what you don't want to do. Don't go to somebody else's channel and say, I watched your video, you should come watch mine now. I subscribe to you, you should subscribe to me. That doesn't work either, right? In fact, YouTube doesn't like that. That could actually hurt you more than anything. So yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Check out other people's videos if you want, whatever you've got time to do. To the question about Creators Cove, have I understood correctly that the forum is there for people to connect and share also after the challenge? Yes, 100%. Connect, share, absolutely. I'm hoping to keep chatting with people there. I'm hoping you do too. I'm hoping you do too. Question, I've had 34 likes and 2 comments in 1 week and views on my 23 to 34 views on my 13-year-old videos. My hubby has almost 1,000 views but no subscribers. Hi, Peanut. Peanut's back there. She's asleep. Using Gemini to do the thumbnail. I didn't see the question. What was the question? I don't see a question. Congrats on your 34 likes and 2 comments. no subscribers. You can start asking for subscribers, and don't even really worry about that too much. Subscribers will come, but it's not as important as a lot of people think. Alrighty. Question, Calm Equestrian. This challenge was so motivating and I feel ready to continue. I would like to just work on keeping the ball rolling without getting into the analytics for even a year. Is that okay? 100% that's okay. And that's a breath of fresh air to hear you say that. You don't have to listen to the analytics at all. They are there for those of us who like to get into them, who don't mind looking at numbers and want to try to see, what could they be doing differently, but you don't have to listen to the numbers whatsoever. In fact, it can be dangerous. Like what happens more often than not is people will start looking at those numbers far sooner than they should, right? And also because it's so up and down, right? If you go up, maybe you're up 2, 3, 4 in a row, and then down 2, 3, 4, and now you're starting to think, what am I doing wrong now? I must have done something wrong or bad. And usually the answer is no, you didn't. You're just, there's natural ups and downs. Think about it this way. If you have an audience, right? Let's say you've got, I don't know, you normally get 100 views or 1,000 views to your videos, right? You've got a regular bunch of viewers who watch your videos. If you put out, a video a week, and you do that for 3 straight weeks, and they're all getting great views or whatnot, maybe, and then when you put out a 4th video, maybe you make that 4th video even better than the first 3. But if the topic is not a lot different than the first 3, might be a fantastic topic that your viewers want to hear about, but they've just heard you talk about it 3 times already. And if you make it a 4th time, you may start losing people just because they've heard you sing that song already, right? I've experienced that. Sometimes I've made the same video that not the same, but I've never completely redone a video the same as I've done it before, but I have made videos where the central topic is the same as a previous video, just at a different angle or just said a different way. Sometimes people need to hear something more than once or need to hear something put a different way before it sinks in, right? So I do that, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. But for some, they may start the video as like, you know what? I've heard Rob talk about this before. I don't want to hear. I was hoping he would come up with something new this week. So yeah, I'm out. So you could do that, but the video could be fantastic, but it just doesn't end up doing that well because of your audience. Again, try to get inside the head of your audience. How are they thinking? What do they want next? What have you been telling them a lot lately? Maybe it's time to switch gears and tell them something else. Right? And I have this way of thinking quite often. Let's see. Monkey Wrench. I feel like I could just start channels and do a handful of videos of each, then move on. ADHD. How can I commit more to a channel? I have 3 channels now. Yeah. Yeah, and that's probably the fault of people like me that say, all of your stuff has to be, in the same niche to be on the same channel. And if you want your channel to grow, yes, that's the best way to make it grow. And if you really do have more than one interest, let's say you have 3 different, completely separate interests, so you create 3 channels, that's totally fine. But if you want to grow a channel, it's really hard to do that when you are spreading yourself thin like that. So there's nothing wrong with doing that, but what I would suggest is pick one. Pick one of those 3 to be your primary, and that's the one that you are going to put 90% of your effort into, right? And then with your other 10% of your time, like if you find, ADHD, let's go over here now, and now you make a video over here, just, what? I feel like making a video for this now. I need a break from my primary. I want to make a video on this. Then do that. You can totally do that. And then you've got that channel there. But just know that's almost like a holding tank for ideas. And that's also practice in making videos. And you can put that on that channel. And who knows, maybe someday down the road, your primary may change to one of those other 2. And you can, shift your focus. Right? Because you don't want to get bored either. Because, that's not going to help your channel at all. So, yeah. If that helps, that's what I would suggest. Try to pick a primary, and put most of your effort into that. I don't know if I answered your question. How can I commit more to a channel? Yeah, well, unfortunately, I can't invent any more hours for the day for you. I wish. I've been working on that. How to get 30 hours in a day as opposed to 24, and I'm not having any luck with that. So I can't help you with that. So there's only so many hours in the day, right? So you could try organizational tricks, right? Try to organize your day a certain way, or your week, right? Maybe there's certain days of the week. Maybe identify 3 days a week that are only for your primary channel, and stick with that. Doesn't have to be the same 3 days, or it can be, right? It really depends on how you work and what would work best for you. Yeah, so an organization trick might do the trick. I picked this up to have a drink and put it back down. One more question here. Question: I created a channel a month ago with only one video. Someone told me that YouTube will think that my channel by now is a bot, that most likely it will have a hard time getting views. So yes, it might have a hard time getting views, but not because YouTube might think it's a bot, but because you did that video a month ago, and you haven't made another video, right? And just because of that, you're not going to get views. Like, you don't continue to get views forever necessarily. You have to keep feeding the machine. You have to keep putting videos out there. So you can't just make a channel, one video, and then disappear forever. It's not like videos get most of their views in the beginning, right? And that's why your first videos don't tend to get many views. So you need to get back making videos, right? That is not what would get YouTube to think it's a bot. Things that would get YouTube to think it's a bot is if you used AI to create the video with an AI voice, and if it's like regurgitated information from someone else's channel, like those are the things. And if you keep doing that with your subsequent videos, those are the things that would get YouTube to start thinking that it might be a bot. Or they don't even have to think it's a bot. They might just flag it as inauthentic content that people wouldn't be interested in, and some people get their channels deleted for those reasons. But that has nothing to do with the fact that you haven't made a video in a month. Does that make sense? So, good question though. Let me get to a couple of quotes here. Let me find them first. Where'd they go? Okay. So back to the challenge. I'll close that. Sorry, I'm just trying to. All right, and let's copy this and put it there. Let's see now. All right. Okay. Now, as a result of this challenge, and as a result of me going through the thread here, I see we're up to 72 comments. Maybe I don't even have to refresh that. It just went to 72 comments on its own. That's cool. So I went through, let's see, go all the way to the top, click more comments. That's awesome. So yeah, we had a few more added to the very bottom. We've got Craig there, we got Scott Ald there, we got Stacy. So cool. So yeah, I encourage you to go through all these, but what I did is I went through and I picked out a whole bunch of quotes. And I just wanted to read some for you. I'm not going to be able to kind of put them up on screen, but here's where everybody started, okay? Everybody started 5 weeks ago, and I got some quotes to kind of highlight where people were when they started. So Penny said, my retirement Penny's channel is My Retirement Road, says, I am forever changed by this challenge. I was frozen. All right. Delphine Rose, the calm equestrian, said, one too many broken promises to myself had made me lose faith in my abilities. Okay. Paul Sanders, I spent months finding and using excuses, not the right gear, not the right setting, not enough time, analysis paralysis, procrastinating wildly. Okay. Who else has been there? I certainly have. Dave Kadoff said, I am a world-class starter and a terrible finisher. Case in point, I started my YouTube channel on August 25th, 2006. Okay. All right. Yes. Isn't that when YouTube started? Like somewhere around then? All right. Now, these next group of quotes, and the fear was specific. I'm going to try to keep an eye on the current chat too, so feel free to keep chatting as well. The fear was specific. So Pam Sanford, A New Direction, she said, I've never been good at speaking. It's easier to write. Okay, how many others feel that way? Samantha from Savvy Sammy Travels says, filming myself, speaking in public was terrifying. I can 100% identify with that. I don't like speaking in public. Bernard Ernst from The Evening Window says, I struggled a lot with a channel direction. Then that struggle moved to video ideas. Then the struggle moved to starting to speak, plus not stumbling over my own thoughts and words. That's honest. That's honest. Block 3. So this group of quotes are for people who decided to do it anyways, okay? And everybody did, but these are the quotes. This is how I've kind of organized the quotes. Renee Cedar Rose said, I almost gave up, but here's my third video. The first one was the hardest one, the starting. So how many others felt that way, that the first was the hardest? That was the case for me, and that's what I tell people. Like, the first is always going to be your hardest, right? Of course, somewhere down the line, you're going to have a really hard time making a video. Maybe it's because you wanted to try something different, or maybe the topic that you're going to talk about is extra sensitive, right? So it's just a hard thing to talk about. That could be the case. Or what was the first thing I said? The editing, did I already say that? You decide to edit, do a lot of editing, whereas normally you just keep it simple. So, but that aside, I believe the first video is always going to be the hardest, because especially for people who are afraid to start for whatever reason. They don't want to be seen, or afraid of the way you look or sound, or afraid of being judged, right? Whatever the reason. Once you do it, I feel like it only gets easier after that. Stacy S. said, this challenge gave me the courage to take the first steps and just start messy. John Lenahan, or Lenahan? Sorry if I mispronounce anybody's name here. I'm doing the best that I can. I hit undo on the new filming setup, reset everything to what's been working, and got the video done. It went out a day later than I'd planned, but it still went out this week. That's awesome, John. Yeah, and I've been there too, right? Like setting up my set, like I want it to look like this and that, and the light here and the camera, and then like I have spent days a couple years ago trying to get everything perfect, and then what ended up landing was, like, I can tell you, like now, if I just forget all that, just grab my phone and go outside and record, don't even think about where the sun is or what the weather is or right? And those videos tend to do better. And then you're done. Like, done is better than perfect. So I think a lot of times too many of us are chasing perfect. Jason Lorette says, 3 weeks, 3 videos. Latest video is completely bombing, but oh well. That made me laugh. Stop looking at your analytics, Jason. Just make that 4th video. And Brenda from Brenda's Broadcast said, confidence comes after we take action. I often waited for confidence to arise, but it's crucial to take the first step. 100%. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. And you learned things. Okay, these quotes are what you learned. Nina Hirschberger, Reinventing with Nina. And I hope it's Nina or Nina. I think there were 2 people with your name in this challenge, and one is pronounced Nina and one's Nina. So I wake up thinking about my next video. By video 50, I might have a few things figured out. That made me laugh. Eric, the sheet keeper, paying less attention to analytics on recent posts and more to my growing body of older posts that are now actually getting views as they bake. That's awesome. Terry Stafford, not to brag, but it sure is motivating, finally. That's awesome. And I think that was about your drone video, right, Terry? You're getting a lot of views on that. That's awesome. Scott Ald, these embarrass myself on purpose challenge videos I did were 4 to 5 times outliers compared to my usual stuff. So yeah, again, I mentioned Scott took it upon himself to do a challenge within the challenge and go out and try to embarrass himself. And he found kind of a sub niche that is doing really well for him. So I don't know, Scott, are you doing a complete pivot now? Are you going to continue down that road? I think you mentioned you were wondering if you should. But here's what actually changed. Ron Teagarden, finding my tech niche. 4 weeks ago, I felt like I needed to wait until I learned everything before I started posting. Now I feel like I can post videos while I'm learning how to make videos. That's awesome. I love that because most of us who are making videos aren't experts at any of this stuff. Right? Like there's so much I don't know about this camera that I'm staring at right now. There's so much so that it doesn't leave my desk. It's permanently fixed to my desk, and the settings are set. And I don't want to take this outside because then I'm going to have to change stuff, change the whatever, the white balance, the oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank. I mean, I know a little bit more than I'm sounding like I do right now, but what's the term I'm looking for? Exposure or whatever. Anyway, when I first bought this camera and I looked at the 24 menus or whatever is in the thing, and I was like, I just want to make a video and I want it to be 4K. Like, why does this have to be so hard? Well, it's not that hard with a phone. So anyways, I figured it out. Well, I didn't figure it all out. I figured out enough to be able to do it. And one of the things I figured out is when I was looking for my phone. It's still up there. When I use my phone, it's just so much easier because everything's automatic. And, a proper videographer or photographer might tell you, well, the best way to do it is, manual mode, right? So that you can control things better and all this. And I understand that. I get that. But I don't do YouTube to become a professional videographer or photographer to be able to make commercials for people. Like, that's not why I'm doing this. I didn't get into YouTube because I needed to learn everything, or I wanted to learn everything there is to know about the Sony ZV-E10 and what it can do. That's not why I'm doing YouTube. But you learn things. Like, I did get the camera and it takes great video. And I've learned things about things as I went along. Lighting. I've got these 2 lights. They weren't the lights I started with, right? This mic wasn't the mic I started with, right? You learn as you go. So anyway, spent a lot of time on that one, but I like that, Ron. Sandra Barber. She said, I now can call myself a content creator, something I couldn't say 4 weeks ago. That's awesome. I love hearing that. Chris M says, as a Gen X creator, Chris M from Content Hiking, as a Gen X creator, putting myself out there goes totally against the grain of how we were raised to keep quiet and stay in the background. Isn't it though? That is so true. And what some people have told me, some women have told me that they were brought up being taught that women should be seen and not heard. Right? And I know you're not a woman, Chris, but it just reminded me of that. It's like, yeah, we were kind of like don't draw attention to ourselves, I think. And maybe women or girls were taught that more so than guys 40, 50 years ago. Maybe, I don't know. But like you said it, Chris, and I experienced it as well. Like, why draw attention to yourself? Right? But the reality is we now live in a world where everybody has a video camera and everybody who's younger than us is running around filming everything and themselves and their friends and throwing it up on social media to share with the world and with all their friends. And that's just part of life now. Like, that's just what people do. It's not the way we, older people, were brought up. But it's the world we live in now. So it sometimes feels weird to us, I think, to maybe act like that because we weren't brought up to act that way. But people do act that way now, so it's okay. All right, where am I? Where am I now? Tiffany, incandescent voltage. It helped me become someone who simply shows up, presses publish, and keeps going. Love that. That's awesome. Amy Brown. Amy Brown says, I stopped editing out the natural stutters or the wonkiness. And you know what happened? There was no one of my tribe who made discouraging comments, and even new viewers were kind. That is awesome. I love that. So yeah, Amy spent time editing out stutters, ums and ahs and things like that, and trying to construct tighter sentences. And that's a lot of work. Not only is that a lot of work, but then your video will appear edited and kind of choppy, right? And I think what Amy has discovered is by leaving that all in there, it makes her more relatable. And like she said, where'd it go? Nobody from her tribe made discouraging comments, and even new viewers were kind. So that's awesome. That's how you find your tribe, by being yourself, right? You won't find your tribe if you kind of chop everything up and maybe don't even put yourself in the videos or try to hide in some way. It won't be your tribe that you find with videos like that. You will only find your tribe if you are being yourself in your videos. And you will naturally find, sure, the odd hater will come in there. We all get the odd hater. Some people get more than others, but that's just know that going in. And you can delete, you can hide, whatever. They see one video, they hate on you and they leave you a bad comment. You can delete and hide them. They're not coming back, so don't even worry about them. What you're left with is the people who did not hate it, and they loved you and they loved your video, and you resonated with them, right? They stick around. So then when you come up with another video, sure, you might get some more haters, but you get more of the people that like you and the people who saw your previous video. So your tribe grows over time. But the amount of hateful comments that comes in, that kind of stays constant. Unless you have like a really good video take right off, that's typically when you'll get more of the hateful comments because you're reaching more new people that way. But just understand that that's kind of part of it, and you can ignore them and just feel bad for them for a little bit. Ignore them, delete them, they're gone. Get back to all the love and the comments from your tribe. So I like that, Amy. That was great. Let's see now. I've got one more group of comments here. Just a short one. So none of you did it alone. Astrid from Comfy Candles said, doing YouTube as a solo creator can make you feel alone. 100% it can. And that's why I think community is so important, right? Doesn't have to be Creators Cove. It can be. It can also just be showing up to live streams like this, right? And take my advice too. I love you guys all coming into these live streams. That's awesome. But consider doing your own. Like, you're a content creator now, right? So consider doing live streams, or at least thinking about adding them to your strategy going forward, because then you can start building a community within your channel, right? You can always come back to this community and even the communities of other people you meet here, right? That's great. But consider starting your own community of your tribe and and they will show up. And then things can explode. And I can tell you that once I started doing live streams, now it was that coupled with some other things like being more consistent with my videos. But that's when my channel really started to grow, when I committed to weekly live streams. And they started to grow along with my videos. All kind of happened at the same time. So yeah, it can make you feel alone. I totally get it. Diane says, even though I couldn't manage the 4 videos for health reasons, getting this one up was made possible by this group. So that's awesome. And I want to highlight again too, that if some of you didn't get it was 3 videos, by the way, not 4. If some of you didn't get all 3 videos done by the end of the 4 weeks, that's totally okay. If you even just got 1 done, you're a content creator, right? And this is your ticket to continue. This is your permission slip. Who said that? Permission slip. Somebody did. Another content creator. Might have been Brian Johnson. Your permission to continue, right? You're a content creator now. Lisa Dupre said, sometimes you just need to see someone else doing the scary thing to take the leap and do it for yourself. See, that's great. Love that. Regenhild, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to mispronounce this name. Regenhild Johan. Kransekaka is the name of your channel. Said, I didn't think I had the bandwidth to contribute, but it seems like I do. Little by little, 1 comment here, 1 there. Baby steps. Take baby steps, that's all you need. Let me see now. I've got 1 more comment, but I want to save that until for a little bit. I love the comment, but I'm going to save that for a little bit. Let me get into the chat here, see what's going on. See if you guys have any questions. I'm just going backwards now a little bit. Craig Solo TV. I always catch the stream late due to life stuff. I'm a little behind, but managed 2 videos. Where would I be this week? Where would I be this week? Well, hey, that's awesome. 2 videos. That is totally fine, and better late than never. We're still here. Yeah, you can always watch it on the replay if you'd like. So what I've been doing, for those who are just showing up now, I've been going through quotes that people have left on this page. This is the, here, let me just back up here. This is Creators Cove, and we're up to 72 comments here. I asked everybody to post in here once you've completed the challenge, and basically just say, hey, I did it. Here's my channel. Here are my 3 videos. It's your chance to kind of show off what you did. So that's what I did. And you can scroll through here. You can click to check out any of these videos. And it's truly inspiring what some of the people have said. So that's what I've been doing, reading some comments from the people that posted in there. And thank you guys, because this is great. It's put another way, it's great that you guys have been inspired by this. I just saw 1 comment by CL. Brian G has a cat now. Does he? I didn't even know that. Did he get a cat because he thinks that will help with YouTube? Because it does. Maybe that's in his latest video. I haven't watched his latest video. What was I saying? Oh, sorry. I saw the word cat. I saw CL said something about a cat, and I lost my train of thought. Alrighty. Let's see. Hey, Catherine. Catherine's here. How you doing? One of my moderators. It's great. And Scott was here, and I believe Karen's here too. The 3 moderators. Thank you for all you do. Alrighty. Hi, Rob. I attend the first live stream. Yes, I did not post anything, but I completed 5 comedy scripts and writing the 6th one. I am lazy. That's why I want to make at least 8 videos and batch post. Wow. Okay. Very good. Good luck with that. Question. Been thinking about creating an Instagram channel to promote my YouTube channel, making it same name. Is it really worth it? You can, okay. So 2 things, I think. I got 2 things to say about this. Number 1, I wouldn't look at it as a way to promote your YouTube channel, because it's different. People who watch Instagram don't necessarily watch YouTube. So it would not be a good way to promote a channel. And I don't want you to think in those terms, promoting a channel, because that doesn't typically work unless you're selling something on your channel. If it's a sales site and you want to get more traffic there, to sell something, then something like that might work. But if you're making a channel where you're talking to people and you want people to naturally enjoy your content, you don't want to promote it at all. You want yourself out there, so make sure you're putting your face in your videos. People start to get to know you. But what else? So what I'll say about the Instagram thing, I have an Instagram account. It's nowhere near the size of my YouTube channel, but I only have it there for people who want to get in touch with me, who would typically rather get in touch with people via Instagram DMs. That's the only reason I created my Instagram channel. Now, when I do create shorts, which is not that often, but I do make them, I put them on YouTube Shorts, Instagram for Reels, and TikTok, right? I put them all there. So I have all those channels, but I don't do it to promote my channel. I do it for branding reasons, so that when people who are already my watchers on YouTube, when they happen to be scrolling through Instagram, if they're subscribed to me, I will likely pop up on their Instagram feed, and they'll go, "Oh, I watched this guy on YouTube. Cool, there he is again. Okay, cool." So I'm in their head for a couple seconds. That's all it is. I'm not really doing it to try to find new people. Try to find new people that way and funnel them into YouTube. That's not really the way it works, okay? Because people who watch Instagram don't necessarily watch YouTube long form videos, okay? So two different reasons there. Branding reasons a way for people to reach out to you. Like, as your channel grows, you may decide you want to start getting brand deals, and you want people to be able to reach out to you, or maybe you start selling something and you want a way for people to get a hold of you. Well, you could do that through email if you want, and you can do that right from YouTube, but you can also put a link to your Instagram account and people can contact you that way. Okay, so there you go. There you go. What else we got here? Oh, I answered that one. Question. Mohith. How you doing, Mohith? I am going with a 3 to 4 times a week upload schedule on my new channel. Wow, that's a lot. Good for you. Don't burn out. Simple but very helpful topics. Okay, that's good then. Simple, helpful, then you can do more of them probably. That's great. I know this worked for you, so any advice for this type of schedule? You could try batch recording, right? I tried that. I didn't end up loving it myself, but it's something you might want to go through yourself just to see if it works for you. Might be a quicker way to make more content quicker. And then schedule it out. So 3 to 4 times a week, that's pretty much exactly what I did. I would 3 videos a week and 1 live stream. So that was 4. Videos were Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I tried to, keep that going for as long as I could. So yeah, simple, very helpful. Yeah, that'd be my advice. Like if you, maybe every once in a while, try to do a longer one. And just to see, if for no other reason, just to see if your audience has an appetite for longer videos, right? But if you're going to be making 3 to 4 a week, my guess is not very many of them are going to be longer. Plus, you also have to start thinking about your audience as well. Like what kind of appetite do they have for you, right? Like if you're going to be making 30-minute videos, right? They probably don't want to watch you 4 times a week at times 30. Like that's 2 hours. That's a lot. That's a lot to ask of anybody. So yeah, keep them simple. Then 3 to 4 a week shouldn't be a problem. If you start thinking, or if it starts becoming a problem and you're starting to feel like, wow, this is a lot, then maybe dial it back to 2 to 3, right? Give yourself, or maybe just dial it back for a week or 2 and then go back to 3 to 4. You can try that. Or maybe every once in a while, if you do have a longer video, maybe that's a week where you only do 2 videos, right? So that's okay. Like if you do 4 videos one week and 2 the next, that's not an inconsistency problem. You're still showing up for your viewers and you're consciously making the decision. Okay, last week was 4 videos, but they were all 5 minutes long each, so that's fine. This week, I've got one that's 25 minutes, so I'm gonna do a 25-minute and another 5-minute one. right? So that's kind of the way I would look at it, I guess. And then kind of keep an eye on how they do. And then you'll start to get a feel for which types of videos do better for you and your viewers. Very good. Completely nourished. How to choose between making the next video be a strategic decision, i.e. one that makes sense as a follow-up to the previous one versus just whatever inspires you within your niche. How do you choose? I don't know if I can answer that. That's like a personal decision. I mean, at any given time, there's probably several different videos you can make, right? You don't have to always make a follow-up video to your previous video. In fact, I rarely make a follow-up video to the previous video. It might be 2 or 3 videos later that I'll do a follow-up. Usually, if either the video did really well or it got a whole lot of comments, maybe a whole lot of people challenged me on something I said in my video or said that I was wrong, and maybe I was wrong, so that probably deserves a follow-up video, right? You can take cues from your audience through the comments section, but always pay attention to what inspires you, right? So that can change what you want to make that day. You might go to bed one night thinking, okay, the next video I'm going to make is, you know what it is. But then you might wake up after having a dream or something and be super inspired about something else. Well, then you can shelf that previous idea you had and go to work on the thing that inspired you. That's fine too. So, and that's the beauty of this whole YouTube thing. Like, there are no rules that say you have to do something. You can change direction on a whim if you want. And the freedom to be able to do that is one of the things I love about this. Let me see now. Should I read that last quote? It's 3:30. I got another quote that really stuck out that I wanted to read to you guys. And it was a quote by Peg Maywerter. I know I said that wrong, I'm sorry. But Peg, Homo Analog. Peg is 95 years old. And she said, as a 95-year-old creator, I find the creative idea flow is as rapid and surprising as ever. So that's cool. And she goes on to say, I want to encourage others to jump in. Start a channel, make your voice heard. The future of AI will be shaped not only by tech giants, but by the values and voices of humanity. Okay, so it kind of went with a little bit of AI advice there. That's kind of cool. But just the fact that Peg decided to be a content creator at 95 years old and that she is now encouraging others to jump in, I just think that is super inspiring. And thank you, Peg. Thank you for that. That's awesome. So yeah, I wanted to read that, and I wanted that to sink in and hopefully inspire some of you. So again, not everybody in here did this challenge, and that's okay. That's totally fine. Will we do another one? Probably. I don't have anything scheduled yet. I've got some other things on the schedule, I guess, to come first. But maybe in a few months, towards the end of the year or something. I don't know. Actually, I shouldn't have even said that. I have no idea when I'll do this again. It's not that it took me a whole lot of time, but some time. But I encourage you to keep up with this in Creators Cove, and keep showing up to these live streams and keep encouraging each other, and use it for your own inspiration as well. So there you go. What other questions we have? I'm just looking at the current chat here. D. Collier says, thank you, Peg. Bernard says, that advice by Peg seems sound. I do development work myself and also use AI at times. Use AI as a tool. Absolutely. That's what I do too. Heidi, hey Heidi, how you doing? Says, way to go, Peg. That's so awesome for you to use your voice and wisdom. Absolutely. Incandescent voltage, woohoo, way to go, Peg. You are amazing. That's very inspiring, Peg. The calm equestrian says. Type QQQ if if you want to ask me a question, type QQQ and I'll do another search on those. I'm here for another half hour anyways. We'll do a 2-hour live stream today. Carrie Lynn says, love Peg already. Kiwi style, wow, go Peg. Well said, Peg. Content hiking. Let's see, what else have I missed? You know what? I also wanted to tell you guys about, I got a couple other things. For anybody who is interested, Vid Summit is a conference coming up in late September, and I'm going to be there. I'm not presenting or anything, but I'm going. I'm going with my son. The two of us are going. And it's a conference where there's going to be a whole lot of speakers. It's a 3-day thing from September 29th to October 1st. And I encourage anybody who is interested in creating content, if it's within your budget to go, that would be fantastic. I've never been to Vid Summit before, so this will be my first. I know Karen, who is in here, or she was in here, she's been there, and she even has a couple of videos that she made while at Vid Summit last year. So she can speak to that as well, one of my moderators here. And yeah, so if you're interested, consider going to Vid Summit. It's in Dallas, Texas at, again, the end of September. So it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think we fly in Monday and fly out Friday, something like that. And yeah, my son and I. So my son is a YouTuber as well, and I've had him on my live streams before. So some of you may know him. Yes, Karen is here. Awesome. Yes, Vid Summit. Are you going again, Karen? Go Dallas, DFW Tesla. I'm wondering if DFW, because that's like Dallas-Fort Worth. I'm assuming you're from Dallas. Heidi's making her plans for Vid Summit. Awesome. Very good. Very good. Yeah, no, it should be good. Should be good. So yeah, my plan is once I know what's going on, once the schedule is announced, because it's not announced yet, or is it? Let me just click schedule. No, still coming soon. 3 days, 5 stages, 70 plus speakers. So you can't see everybody, but you get access to all of the recordings when you sign up to go. Okay, so that's the way it works. It's not cheap. It's $900 US to get a ticket to go, plus flights, hotels, and all that stuff, food. But it should be fun. And so yeah, once I know the schedule, I'm going to do something. I don't know what it is, but arrange a get together or a gathering, and maybe it's in a hotel lobby or whatever, right? Like, I don't know what's going on here yet. Karen, you probably know more about what's the way they do things. I think the evenings they have things planned, but I think creators kind of plan their own things between sessions so that we can all meet if you want, right? And maybe make a video or two while we're there. I am so close to Dallas, the ticket prices are few. Yes, I know. But just so you know, the flights and the hotels are worse than just the tickets to go there. But should be fun. Should be fun. But and I know not everybody would be able to make that. But what I will do though is I'll commit to making a video or 2 or 3 from our time there. Maybe even Tuesday, I might even live stream from there. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be doing that. I wonder how they handle the internet during something like that. Karen says, yes, meetups are great fun. Awesome. Heidi says, maybe you could have the questions pre-planned and written down for him. It'd be awesome for you to have that video. Oh, sorry, that was for somebody else. My grandpa is the same age, and I've often thought I should try interviewing him. He is hard of hearing, though. That's a great idea. Like, I love that. I love that. Like interviewing our elders, right, is just a great idea to capture that, right? I think that's fantastic. Terry says, once my channel starts paying for things, I'll go to Vid Summit. Yep. That's a good plan. That's a goal. You could write that down as a goal. Monkey Wrench says that there's a video conference here in Los Angeles, so I'll go to that one. Very good. I think VidCon is in LA or Anaheim, if that's the one you're referring to. I almost went to that last year. We ended up going somewhere else, though. And yeah, that one is more, I think that's more geared towards, I don't want to say younger crowd, but it's more like creators can go, but fans of influencers can go as well. And I think there's a lot of that dynamic, like fans of influencers, they can meet their favorite influencer, that kind of thing. Whereas Vid Summit is more content creators or people or aspiring content creators learning from people who are content creators, right? So the ticket prices are more expensive, but it's for people who are more serious about this. Yeah. Monkey Wrench said, Dallas heat is too much for me. Yeah, well, I'm a little concerned about that, but it is the end of September. And I went to Dallas a couple of years ago to a Cowboys game. When was that, though? I think that was September. It was September. It's pretty hot, but at least we're over the hump in September, right? It's starting to cool down. Kiwi Style says, I don't think we'd get a video conference here in New Zealand. Hey, well, there you go. Maybe you should put one on. Get in touch with Karen. She'll help you. Lisa said, my father-in-law is 91 and he appears in some of our videos. He secretly loves it, I think. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I can picture him almost like secretly loves it. When are you making your next video? Maybe I can pop over. Karen says, yes, VidCon is a fan event and Vid Summit is for creators. I had heard that too, but I haven't gone to either one, so. Let's see. Target Opa says, in 15 years, my channel had 2,500 views. This 1 month challenge has me at 55,000 and counting, thanks to this community and Rob's transparency. Wow, fantastic. Way to go. That's awesome. Not a nail. I just posed another video to say thank you. That's cool. Very good. DFW Tesla, it's still mega hot in September. Is it? Yeah, but it's a dry heat down there, isn't it? It's a dry heat. I remember being in Vegas one time. It was like 120 degrees or something. It's like, it might be a dry heat, but it still kind of knocks you down. Like you don't, I found I just didn't have any energy to do anything. The good news, Cowboys, what about the Lions from here in Michigan? Yeah, I've been to the Lions. I've seen the Lions. Actually, that trip I'm talking about in Dallas, we went to Dallas first to see the Seahawks play Dallas on a Thursday night, and then we drove to New Orleans to see the Lions in New Orleans. That was an awesome trip. First time I've ever done that. 2 football games in one weekend. Hey, it's Ben IRL, Packers fan here. That's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that. Actually, the Packers are going to be a good team this year. A little concerned about how good. Well, we shall see. Marius Mathieu says, I have 1,930 subs and thinking of quitting YouTube. What's the mindset you need to have to keep going? Not worry too much about your subscriber count and do it for the love of making videos. That is the mindset you need to have. The video I'm working on right now, when I say working on, I mean getting my thoughts together. It's about exactly that. And I've made videos like this before, but this is again, another example of a different angle. I'm going to talk about quitting and how many times I quit. I'm going to take you through my journey. It's not a type of video where, sharing how much money I earned and that kind of stuff. It's more about, I want to talk to the people who are either thinking about quitting or who have quit and restarted and quit again. And is there any hope? Right? And I'm here to tell you there is a lot of hope because I quit, depending on how you measure it, 3 to 4 times before it actually stuck with me. And that's over the course of like 3.5 years. So that's what my next video is going to be about. And I'm going to walk you through it. So don't quit yet. You can take a break, but you don't ever have to totally quit. Heidi says, not as dry as Phoenix. True that. Phoenix, Vegas, right? Grand Canyon, all that. Moab. I love Moab. Utah. Moab. Is that Moab? Is that how you say it? Moab. There's no H in there. Beautiful, like near Arizona. Very hot, but dry. Like I tell you, when it's like 80 degrees here in Nova Scotia, I bet you that feels hotter than 100 degrees in Arizona, just because you are soaking wet. When it's 80 degrees here, it's 100% humidity, and you are just dripping wet. I don't know if it's because we're on the ocean. I'm not sure, but anyway. Although I found it very hot in Phoenix. Saw a football game there too. Vegas, Utah, that area. I didn't find I was sweating that much. But anyway, different climates. It's interesting. Let me see. I can barely see the mountains only 1 mile away out my window because it's so dry and the air is full of dust. I've never seen it like this in all the time I've lived there. Wow. Bill does this, says, what about the Rough Riders or the Blue Bombers? What I'll say is I am a proud Canadian, but I've never really gotten into Canadian football. And I'm sorry, as a Canadian, I should be embarrassed. I shouldn't even say that. I am a sports fan, so I will watch sometimes, but it's a different game, different rules, 3 downs versus 4 downs, different size field, all that. Just never really got into it. So rough. And I know Canadian football is far more popular out west than it is here, probably because we don't have a team here in Halifax. We almost got one, and then the pandemic killed that. Yeah, if the CFL ever put a team here in Halifax, then perhaps you'd get more fans here on the East Coast to follow the CFL. But I know it's big in Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton out west. Let's see now. What else we got here? Locality stories. Rob, you've just said what I do. I do it for the love of making videos. My audience is out there. They just have to find me. Something tells me that's the wrong way to do it, but there you go. Do it for the love of the videos, 100%. Moab is beautiful. Stop there on the way to Arizona. Moab is beautiful. It is beautiful. Oh yes, the humidity is so terrible, Incandescent Voltage says. You can't escape the heat in humidity. You can escape it in dry heat. I have lived in both. Heidi says basically 0% humidity here. Yeah. Yeah, it just feels different. Just feels different. I'm outside Pittsburgh. Grab a cup of MDM says, we get all the weather here, sometimes in one day. Laura plays, dang, the quality of your stream is amazing. Oh, that's good to hear. Thank you. So I stream at 1080p, 30 frames per second, if anybody cares. Humidity sucks. Very humid here today, Amy says. Veronica's page says, sorry, $900 is ridiculous. I'd rather go visit Rob in Nova Scotia. Yeah, there's no conference that would cost $900 here in Nova Scotia, but there's no conference that I know of here. Question, Rob, ever ridden a motorcycle? I have a video idea. I have, not really not a real one probably. I had a dirt bike when I was a kid. And when I say kid, I mean until I was like 12, like a mini bike, I guess you'd call it. I think it was 100cc. So I know how to ride one, but I've never ridden a street bike or anything like that. Pedal bike, bicycle. Oh yes, the fire situation in the Northwest is horrible. Sorry to hear about that. Yeah, that sucks. We got to get these wildfires under control. I know Canada was in the news a lot last week, and I don't know what the situation is there. We don't have any going on here in the East, but I know out West they did, and in Ontario they did. And now it's the Pacific Northwest. It was at Spokane, Washington. It's crazy. It's crazy. Those of you who need rain, I hope you get the rain you need. Question. Hi, Rob. How do you decide what to charge for advertising a product or service on your channel? Also, if you don't mind sharing, roughly what does Nexus Clips pay you for sponsorships? So I'm not allowed to share that. That would I'd probably lose that if I shared that. And honestly, that's why it's hard to find out how much sponsors will pay, because nobody can make a video explaining that. And if they do, they're going to get their knuckles rapped by the sponsors and they could lose their deal. So they're very private about that, and you can only understand why. What I will say is when you start getting sponsors will naturally start to contact you as your channel grows. That's not to say you can't reach out to them first. You can. But they will come to you when it starts becoming worthwhile. But what I will also say is the percentage of sponsorship opportunities that you get, the percentage that are fake or possibly scam attempts is high, right? And you have to be on the lookout for that. You have to be very careful. Don't ever enter your username and password of your YouTube channel or Google account to anybody claiming to want to send you money for sponsorship, because that's how people lose their channels. They're fake. They're scams. They're trying to get your channel so they can do bad stuff on it. That gets you banned, you lose your channel. And right, so you got to be really careful. But what I will say is when you do get basically an opportunity come to you and you know it's legit, you've run it through AI, you've asked the questions, you've contacted them, you've looked them up in LinkedIn, you've gone to their website, you know it's legit, you have a Zoom call with them, right? These are the kinds of things you can do to make sure that it is legitimate. The first deal you ever get is not going to be what you're worth. That's what I'll say, because there is no playbook that says, if you have this many subscribers, if you get this, subscribers shouldn't be the measure of it. It's more to do with the views you get on average. If you normally get this many views, this is how much you should expect to make. Right? Nobody says that. So you're going to get offers, and the offers are going to be low. But what I would suggest to you is take a low offer just to get started, right? Take a low offer. If it's $100 for a video, take it. If it's your first one, why not? Get your foot in the door. And that's how you start learning, whether it's, maybe you're worth $500 a video, but you took 100, you make the video, you'll know if it was worth it to the company or not if they come back to you. Like if they come running back, said, hey, yeah, I love that. This is great. Can I book 10 more? I'll pay you right now. Well, that might be a suggestion that, okay, he got a really good deal, obviously. He thinks that, so perhaps I'm worth more than that. Now, you may still give him that deal, right? And then just know that, okay, this is my first one, so perhaps they get a good deal going forward. But now you know for when the next one comes in, you say, you know what? Yeah, no, I offer sponsorships, but it's $200, right? And you kind of go up from there, right? You go up from there. And eventually, and you can try, you can tell somebody, yeah, $500, I'll make you a video. And if you make a video, and even if you agree on that and you make it, and then they don't ever come back to you again, well, then maybe you asked too much, or maybe they didn't get enough views out of the video you put it in for them to want to do it again. Well, then you might think, okay, maybe 500 is not enough, or maybe, okay, they only got 1,000 views on that video. Maybe that's the reason why. And then you just kind of log all these entries as you go. But understand, the first one you get is you're going to be selling yourself short. That's okay. You're playing a long game here. One transaction at the beginning of a long career doing this doesn't mean anything. So do that one. You're going to learn from it. Okay, and I actually just saw a question here from Monkey Wrench I want to answer. How do brands pay you if you don't give your bank info? Through Zelle or an app like that, or do they send a check? I've experienced it in different ways. You can send them your bank info in an invoice, right? So that they can wire you money. That's one way. So you don't have to log into anything to be able to give them that. Some companies allow you to. I've never worked with one that requires that. Maybe it is legitimate for some to do that. And maybe if you go through an agency, that might be required, but that makes me nervous, right, is what I'll say. So I haven't done it. Maybe I'm overly cautious, but I don't want to lose my YouTube channel. So I don't do it that way. So an invoice with your banking information on it, so they have to, so they can wire you the money. And even then, I went to ChatGPT and said, hey, can somebody wire, if I give somebody my banking information so they can wire me money, can they take money out of my account for that? I wanted to make sure, because I don't know. I'm not a banker. I don't know. And it said, no, they can't. They can only send you money. You're totally safe. That's fine. So you want to check things like that. I've been paid by PayPal, right? So that's another way. They can pay you by PayPal. Now that usually costs more because of PayPal fees and things like that. How else? I think those are the only two ways. Bank transfer and PayPal is the only two ways I've done it. So let me see what else we got here. That's why Scott's idea is best by far. No sponsors. This stuff should be public knowledge. What was Scott saying? I don't know. That might have been unrelated. Sorry. They need sprinklers in the woods. Anaholic says, yeah, wouldn't that be something? Yeah, artificial rain at any time. Laura Plays just wanted to say, I've been on my YouTube journey for a few years and I'm finally finding success and what works for me and my content. Your videos were a part of my learning journey. Thank you for what you do. Awesome. Great to hear. Wildfires in Europe are insane too. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Greece, Spain, France, Italy even, I think. Yeah, it's just world's on fire. Let's put it out. I have a lot of video ideas, but not sure if I should have them in one channel or split it in multiple channels for different topics. Yeah, just be careful. If you split it into multiple channels, it's really hard to grow multiple channels. Okay. Usually successful YouTubers that have multiple channels started with one and they grew it to success first before splitting off another one. Because otherwise it's just too hard if you spread yourself so thin. Let's see. I also get why it's kept secret. It's a complicated thing. Yeah, it is. Rob, that's like running a course or program for free or low cost to get started. It's a great strategy. Yeah. Yeah, or in business terms, which you probably know, Catherine, a loss leader, right? The first sponsor you get, just consider them a loss leader. It gets you started, it gets you understanding how the game works. Right? So some people recommend to have a different email address for sponsorships or to get in contact. Yeah, and I would suggest that too. Whatever email address you want, whatever email address you use to log into your YouTube account shouldn't be the email address that you give out to people to contact you. So it is good to separate those two if it's email. And that's the way I prefer to be contacted, email. So yeah, that's what I do, and that's how I think any sponsor I've worked with, it's because they reached out to me via email, right? Because they saw it on my channel. Set up your YouTube with a separate private email. Use a separate email for public contact. Yep, I totally agree, Rock the Dots. bad modern forest management, plus people doing what they shouldn't. Yeah, unfortunately, I think a lot of wildfires are in Canada anyways, are started by lightning, because I don't know what you guys know about Canada, but most of the population of Canada lives along the bottom strip, like southern Canada, right? A lot of the north, not many people live up there. So it's just forest. It's like there's no managing it. It's there. And when you get fires up there, it's typically lightning strikes is what happens. And lightning occurs if there's a lightning storm or hot, dry weather, right? And it is also a natural way that forests kind of regenerate themselves. Like it's a natural part of the process. The life cycle of a forest is to have fires. But when you have them where people live, that's a problem. I get that. But there's what I'm saying is there's a good chunk of Canada, like probably 90% of the land mass of Canada is like people don't live there. Or if they do, it's like cottages miles apart. Like it's just vast. And there's no managing that. Like we would, like, you know, I know people who, my parents, who used to rake the leaves between the trees on their property. Their property was half an acre maybe, because they wanted the woods to look clean. But yeah, somebody could do that to their own property, but you can't do that to millions of acres of dense forest. But yeah, unfortunately, I think there was some arson involved in one of the ones in the Northwest. And that sucks. Catherine said, when I started running workshops years ago, I ended up charging 3 times the initial fee once I got known. Yeah, I guess that's how you grow, right? That's how you grow any business. You start cheap, knowing that eventually supply and demand will take over, and you'll be able to charge what you're worth. Heidi says there's a book called Sponsor Magnet that gives some info on figuring out where to start. Awesome. I haven't heard of that book. I'm not great at reading books. I'm good at buying them and then they just sit on my shelf. I read on the internet, I guess. I'm embarrassed to say, because I admire people who read books. There's a lot of good books out there. How long, Monkey Wrench says, how long before you change your niche when a channel isn't working? Yeah, that's a tough one. Like, I guess you really have to ask yourself what it is you want to do. You know, because if you start to think that what you're doing is not working and you're not enjoying it and you don't want to make that type of content anymore, and you start thinking about a new niche, and if that channel hasn't really done much, my suggestion would not be to necessarily change your niche, but probably just create a new channel. Just don't delete your old one. That can always exist. And maybe later you decide you want to make a video that would fit on that channel, but maybe your new priority becomes a new channel that you create, right? That's something you can do. Now, I will say, though, that's not what I did. Even though it might be what I suggest now, it's not what I did. I did change my niche a little bit. I still kind of spoke to the same audience, therefore I did it on the same channel. But if you're going to start making videos that are speaking to a completely different audience, I would probably consider a new channel. But at what point? I guess if you're just, I don't know, that's really only up for you to decide. Like, if you don't know what else to do, if you don't enjoy making the videos in the niche you're in now, and you don't know what else to do to grow the channel, then maybe that's not the right thing. Maybe it is time to kind of reevaluate. Okay, like I want to do this YouTube thing, and yeah, be honest with yourself there. Like, Like, why are you doing YouTube? Is it because you wanted to make videos in that niche? If so, then you might want to stick it out and try to find different things to do. But if it's just you want to make YouTube videos and you just want to be a YouTuber and you don't know exactly what to make videos about yet, and that's kind of more the way I started, then maybe just kind of do a reevaluation. Like, you could even take weeks off, a month or more, and just kind of really sit down and kind of analyze, all right, like, what am I going to do here? I want to do this thing, but I really need to nail down what it is I'm going to talk about, or better yet, who. Let's define my audience. Let's define my avatar, is what it's called. This is my avatar. This is my ideal viewer. This is what problem am I going to try to help this person with? Right? And then you start, okay, they've got this problem. This is the problem they have, and I can help them with that. Okay, well, if that's their problem, then how do I help? What things can I, you know what I mean? Like, I think having a lot of brainstorming sessions with yourself, and while doing research on YouTube, you pull up some other YouTube channels that are in that same niche and kind of look at what they're doing. Look what kind of videos are they making, and look at how many views they're getting. That'll give you an indication as to what their viewers want. What do they want more of? Things like that. That might help you get clarity on that. Question, how does an advertiser know how many views their video gets? Depends on the sponsor, I guess, and the advertiser. So like in my case, I may make a video with a sponsored ad in it, and I would tell them, here's the video, and here's a link to the video with your ad in it, and they can watch it on YouTube, and they can see how many views it gets, right? You may have a deal where, let's say your sponsor offers something for sale. Well, maybe part of the deal includes a custom link that gives viewers a discount, but that link is customized with you, the creator's name in it, and maybe you earn a commission off of that. Maybe there's an affiliate portion of the brand deal to go along with it. In that case, they'll be able to measure it. You know, they can see how many views there were by just looking on YouTube and you telling them what video it was, and they can measure how many actual sales came in with your custom code in it, right? So that's one way that people can measure the success of an ad, and then they can decide based on how it did, like whatever deal you sign with them, whether it's a month, several months, whatever, after that period, they'll kind of look at it all and say, all right, well, we spent this, that resulted in this many views, they'll add them all up, and this many sales of our product. Is it worth it to us to do it again? Yes or no, or yes, but for less, or yes, but for more, or right? So that's kind of how they'll go through that. Let me see. When I started a small business years ago, my prices were too low by everyone's standards. They overlooked me due to not expecting they would receive the hard work they were willing to pay for. That's an interesting point. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess if you price yourself too low, if you undervalue yourself, like people will pay for value, right? And there's a perceived value too. Like there's psychology involved. You know, if somebody, yeah, I don't want to get too deep into that, but yeah, I can totally get where that might be a thing. Like I don't know. I offer a course, right? I offer a course, and I forget what it's. I think it's $140 or something like that. And if I sold it for $10, right? People who know its value, well, nobody willing to buy it would know its value because they don't have it yet. But you know, there's people that paid $150 for it. But even if I drop the price to $10, it's not like everybody's going to buy it. A lot of people won't buy it because they want more than $10 worth of value, and they don't expect to get it from a $10 course. right? They'll probably think $10. What? There's like 30 videos there. They must be crap if he's only charging $10 for it. So, you could lose sales that way. So yeah, I get it. Psychology plays a part for sure. Oh, geez, it's I've gone over time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to save that for next week. Let's see. Yep. I think this has been a full enough live stream. Let me just close by saying congratulations to everybody who did the challenge and whether you were successful at it or not. I love the fact that we've got 74 plus people who posted 3 videos that they did, and these are 74 people who were not creators 5 weeks ago, right? In the middle of summer, when you're supposed to be relaxing and not doing too much, 74 of you decided to be full-time creators. Not necessarily full-time, but you are content creators now. 475 people joined the challenge. I'd love any feedback on this that you guys have. Should I do it again? Should it be different? Should I offer a different challenge altogether? What do you need? What do you need? I guess that's the bottom line. What do you need? And how can I help? Let me know, and we'll see what we do next. Those who are interested, I know some of you here have gone through this program before, but I am starting up a new Creators Growth Project. Probably August 17th it will start, so that's 2 weeks from yesterday. So within the next week, look for that. That's my mentorship program. For those who are unaware what that is, I did have an email go, or a video and an email go out a couple months ago. I was going to start it in June, but I ended up postponing that. Pending interest, if there's interest, I will run that again starting August 17th. It's not cheap, it's not free, and more details will come out as it's ready, but it's an 8-week program, mentorship. You get one-on-one time with me. You get group time, weekly group time with the group. I'll accept a maximum of 10 people in it. I said it's an 8-week program, but it's 8 weeks plus 12 months after that of monthly check-in calls. Alumni Hub is what I've called it. And again, some of the people who are in here know about that. Actually, Heidi just said, I highly recommend. Awesome, Heidi. She's gone through it and is still going through it, right? Because once the 8-week part of the program is over, then the Zoom calls become monthly group calls, not just with your new group of 10, but with the other groups of 10 that have gone through it too. So I've done it twice. I did it last December and I did it in March. And so this will be the 3rd one. So there you go. Look for that in the next week or so. Other than that, the next thing, I'm going to have a video out. I told you already what it was going to be about, but I'm putting that out probably Thursday. Maybe tomorrow, but probably Thursday. All right. Again, congratulations to everybody who completed the challenge. You are a creator now. Don't stop the ball from rolling. Keep pushing that ball down the hill. Keep making videos. Keep showing up in Creators Cove. Get some inspiration. Share what you learn with everybody else. And the wonderful thing is, there's going to be a lot of people from now on and into the future who are going to be getting inspiration from what you did this month. Okay? New people who, have not started but who want to start. They're going to be getting inspired to do this based on what you have written in Creators Cove. So I thank you for that, for participating in that. There you go. That's it. That's all I got. Thanks for stopping in, and I'll see you next week or in Thursday's video. All right, guys, take care. Cheers. Bye.